This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
Now joined by Arkansas head coach Mike Neighbors and student athletes Chrissy Carr and Makayla Daniels. We'll begin with an opening statement from the head coach, then we'll take questions for the student athletes. After that, we'll dismiss the student athletes and take questions for the head coach. Coach Neighbors, if you could give us an opening statement, please.
Sure. That fourth quarter is exactly like it's been coaching this team all year long. Wait till the last rep in practice, wait till the last team to get stop, or wait till this, and we do it. So maybe that's who this team is. We waited till the fourth quarter to play our best. I don't really know what happened, so don't ask me very many specific questions. I'll just tell you that I remember Riley Lingerman hitting a huge three and Mac having a very positive comment, which we'll keep to ourselves and share only with our team, but had a very positive moment in a timeout that I'll remember for the rest of my life as a coach.
Questions for the student athletes, please raise your hand, and then we'll bring you a mic over here on the right.
Chrissy, this is for you. It just seems like something about Arkansas players and having huge moments in the SEC tournament. So just talk about finding your rhythm today and just how it felt to get your shot off.
Whenever I first came to Arkansas, Coach Neighbors had told me, you don't have to be the type of player to press to get shots. We have really good guards that are going to be able to find you. And, a lot of coaches say that until I stepped on the floor with Mac and Sam, and it was really easy to believe. My job is to run my butt down the court as fast as I can, get to the corner, and stand there and wait till they throw it to me. And if I don't, I will hear it from Mac or Sam that I need to shoot it. It takes a lot of pressure off of me, just feeling the need to score, just being shot ready and know that when it's my time, I need to be ready to go. And when it's not, somebody else steps up just like Mac and Sam did today.
Go in front to Gabrielle. Let's go to Gabrielle, and then we'll go to Corey, and then we'll go here in the back.
Chrissy, I believe tonight was your career high, if I've got that right. How are you? First of all, congrats. How are you feeling about it, and where do you feel like you really were able to step up tonight for your team?
Honestly, just being able to take what they give me goes down to taking and making open shots again. But, when we have games like today where it was really, really close all up until the fourth quarter, whenever you're making shots like that, the thing that was going through my head was I just don't want to take bad shots. Just continuing to let it find me and continue to stay in rhythm because a lot of people can shoot their way out of it, and that's what I didn't want to do today. And so, whenever it was Mac's time to drive in there and then get and ones, or Miriam's time to get offensive rebound putbacks, it happened, and that's what accumulated into a win today.
Hashtag 34 for 34.
Go ahead, Corey.
Chrissy, if you guys make the NCAA tournament, would that be your first one?
No, I made it my freshman. It's been a while, but no, it hasn't.
Okay, just wanted to for you today to hit that career high to help push your team into getting a really solid win with you guys on the bubble. I mean, what does that mean to you guys to have gotten that today and really boosted your guys' chances?
It always feels good whenever there's positive outcomes or the outcomes that we want. It always does feel good. I think it takes a lot of pressure off of us. But honestly, I think it just rewards us for all of the close games that we have not had go our way, and just proves that we are a team with fight, and we are a team that deserves to be in the NCAA tournament because we do have some great players and we are a great team.
Here in the back.
Makayla and Chrissy, y'all are two veteran players, and you were both out there playing hurt a lot of the time. And then Sam, too, she's been around and she was playing hurt. Will you just talk about the team's fight to stay out there, even playing through injury?
I think it's just that time of year everyone's beat up on every team, so it's kind of like it's your decision whether you go out there and play hard or not. If you're going to say, oh, this hurts so bad I can't play, then just sit out. But I think all of us wanted to be out there on the court and weren't really worried about what was hurting. Once we got it fixed, we were back out there on the court.
I think that shows for who we are as people as well. I mean, these girls that I have not played with a more tough group of girls in my 5 years of college. People falling down dang near in tears, but ready to get up and continue to play because that's what they want to do, not because anybody's forcing them to. Sam today, when she got bumped down, we were all sitting there like, it's okay, stay down. She was the first one who wanted to get up. And that just shows that we want to do it for each other and we want to do it for Coach Neighbors too. So if that doesn't say anything, then I don't know what else does.
On the right, here.
Makayla, this one's for you. Just with how the seasons went and when they started to take that lead and we could have just let the game get away from you, what was the message? What did you keep telling yourself that was different and got y'all back into the game?
I don't really think we got down on ourselves. We didn't focus on like every little negative thing. We kept the positivity, and our bench was there to support us. But I think we knew a run was coming just by the shots we were getting. They just weren't falling really, and so we knew shots were going to fall at some point, and luckily they came. But the mindset was just like it didn't change from the beginning of the game to the end.
Gabrielle.
Makayla, you went down in the first. I see you're in a boot now. Can you give us an update on that injury?
Just a little tweak, but it's fine.
It seems like this is the time of year that always you got to have like a lot of people stepping up. And Riley had a lot of, I know what Coach calls Rileys today, and then Miriam had a big impact as well. Will you just talk about what you saw from those two?
They're probably I don't know which one of them is nicer, but they're probably the nicest people I've ever met. And so the whole year, like, we've been trying to get Miriam just to, like, get mad, and it's just, like, it's not going to happen. So, but I think she's kind of realizing you can be nice, but on the court you can be aggressive. And I think this is the most aggressive I've seen Miriam on the offensive and defensive boards today. And even though she came up short sometimes, she was never down on herself. And Riley, I think once Riley releases the ball, I know it's going in. And a lot of times you have to tell Riley to shoot the ball, but today I don't think I told her once to shoot it. She shot it. It went in. Once it's at her hands, we know it's going in. So it's just, I'm glad that today they felt confident enough to do those things.
In front to Cora.
This is for both you guys, but that run where you guys took the lead in the fourth quarter, Chrissy hits the three to bring within three, then Makayla ties it, and then you guys had a few opportunities to take the lead and couldn't. And then Sam comes down the court, and I saw you calling for the ball in the quarter, Chrissy, but she just looked determined to get to the basket, drew that and won. Can you guys just talk about the run and what you guys are feeling in that moment?
Like Coach Neighbor said, we're just that team that once we get going in the fourth quarter, we're hard to stop. And I think that everyone stepped up when they needed to, and it's not about how you start; it's 110% how you finish. And so we played with enough poise down the stretch and hit shots when we needed to result in us getting a win today. So.
Here in
front. Y'all are facing an undefeated South Carolina team tomorrow. How are you feeling going into that?
Makayla, you want to take this one first?
Yeah. I personally feel good. I think we have a really big opportunity, and what we do with it is our decision. Obviously, you have to play well against South Carolina in order to beat them. So I think just going in and fixing the things from our first game, it does help that we played them a time before now. So I think if we go in and fix a few things, we have a real chance.
We've got time for one more. We'll go to Cora.
Makayla, Sam made some big plays down the stretch, and I know she had a few rough games in February, but the last few games she's really poured it in for you guys. How important is that for you to have her step up and find that stride as you guys play in the postseason?
It's very important. I don't think Sam has seen a shot she doesn't really like, and today when she shot that three, I was just looking, and then it went in, and I was like I was shocked. Not that it went in, but I was just like, she had the confidence to shoot that shot. She had the mismatch. But, I mean, even when Sam was having so-called rough games, I don't think her confidence ever wavered. She's not afraid to shoot the ball no matter how many she's missed or made before.
Ladies, thank you for your time. We will dismiss you back to the locker room, and we'll take questions for Coach Neighbors.
You got it.
Thank y'all.
No pun intended.
Yeah. Hashtag 34 for 34.
All right. In the back. Start in the back.
Mike, close this one out a lot different than some of these other games this year that have just ended up on the other side. Just what did you see from your team, in the fourth quarter?
Max leadership. Just we weren't going to let, she, like I said, I'll remember for the rest of my life her saying what we needed to do, and we did it. And I don't remember, other than the Riley play, I don't remember play by play. And I'm normally pretty good at that. So I'll remember how Mac took that over and how proud I am that she's got that confidence and our team responded around it. But, yeah, we've had a lot of games that we have not finished. So to get one when it mattered the most means we were doing a lot of right things. Our results just weren't very good. I don't ever waver from how we were doing it or what we did. We made the decision way back last summer to invest in the kids that were at our program. And Chrissy coming in after Sasha stepped away from the game, we weren't going to take anybody out of the portal. We were just going to invest in the kids that we had, and it was going to be us. But the upperclassmen came in and said, we think we need one more coach, and we found Chrissy. So for this group to come together and play our best, we've never really peaked at the right time, and I think we are starting to do that. We'll find out for sure tomorrow because we're playing the best team in the country.
Go right here to Cora.
Mike, you guys are obviously on the bubble for the NCAA. This win was really important for you guys. What do you think you need to do tomorrow to help boost that even more?
Just play well. Again, you're going against, I think everybody's got them on that one line. No matter what happens here, they're going to be the overall number 1 seed. So you got to show that you can play with them. We didn't do that down there. We were coming off a really rough week. If y'all want some context, we had played a Monday game against Vanderbilt that we had to hit a back half-court shot, and then we went to LSU and lost by 3, and then we had to get on a plane and go to South Carolina. So it wasn't the most conducive environment to perform. Hopefully tomorrow will be a little better, and we'll show a little better. We've just got to continue to give bullet points to people talking about us in the room, and when they start getting ready to compare to other teams that are there, we've just got to have enough positive things. It'll be hard. We know that. We've played ourselves into the situation, and we're fully aware of it. But you got to play well tomorrow. I know that. We know that, and I anticipate that we will.
Gabrielle.
After Georgia a couple weeks ago, you said that the confidence of this team had really dipped.
Yep.
What was the confidence like going in today, and how are they feeling now, you think?
Good. I got a really good text message from a friend that said, because I'd been saying you can't give anybody confidence, you have to do it. And I got a really good text message that said you can't give them confidence, but you can give them encouragement. So we went and we allowed very little negativity around. We had to block a lot of stuff out. We did that. So we really started giving a lot of encouragement from that point on, and I think it's starting to settle in. Like today, when we got off to a tough start, we tried to stay as positive as we could. We kept stay after it. The talk has just gotten a lot better. So I think encouragement has led to a little bit of confidence. And you see our kids, when they get a little bit of confidence, it's a lot. I mean, it's that, we start doing things I wish we didn't do in transition. I wish we'd sprint back and get in defense instead of celebrate. But you got to let them do that to go through those tough times that we went through. But a lot of encouragement for from themselves and from their teammates. And when we make 12 out of 29 from the 3 and 23 for 27 from the free throw line, it makes a lot of stuff look good and look right. And that fourth quarter, again, I can't wait to get to the bus and watch it.
Over here on the right.
Coach, at the 5:41 mark, you had called a timeout, and then you proceeded to go on a 16-0 run, and it just seemed like you could hear the fans start to shift, and it almost felt like you were playing in Bud Walton Arena. So how much did that play into the comeback as well? I think a lot. We were gassed at that point, and I think somebody made a 3 right in front of us, so I took the timeout, and knowing that we had to close there. We were in a little bit of foul trouble too. Aaron had been in foul trouble all day. Jersey got in early foul trouble. So managing, you kind of took the timeout to just kind of hit a reset and see where we were at. Time and score wise. So, and it gave our kids, again, because we had been so positive, it gave them a chance to talk to each other again. So we tried to give them that. But, I looked down here, it was a 16-something. At some point in time in the fourth quarter, we had a 16-0 run. Hopefully that's that compounding effect that we tend to have on people when we're able to play fast. We couldn't get any stops in the third quarter. Oh, yeah, they shot 70%. There's not many stops to be had there. But in the fourth quarter, when you hold them 4 for 17, there's lots of opportunities to run. And I think that compounding effect had a lot to do with it. Sorry. You're doing this. My bad. My fault.
All good.
Like Chrissy said earlier, hasn't been to NCAA since her freshman year. To see the effort from her today to really push you guys over, get a really great win for you in regards to getting in, what does that mean for you to see her step up like that?
I just hope she gets rewarded with it. She's a great kid. She's fit perfectly into the maturity that we needed, the way she's been coachable. Like she talked about, to hear her say the words that she said, those are like things I said to her earlier in the year, and she's repeating them. That means she heard them, and she's tried to do them. And I think her teammates realize that. She made a lot of changes, and I think her teammates she earned their respect by doing so, by making some changes. And as a result tonight, they were looking for her every time. You look up, Sam's looking for her. And in the past, where there were times we would look up the floor and we weren't, and now we are. But she's earned that right. And I look at that stat line, that's probably got a lot of the reason why. And also, we haven't talked about Sailor. She did another good job on Haley Frank. Didn't shut her out this time, but you're never going to do that 3 times in a row. She gets us 11 rebounds, 5 assists. Aaron's plus 18 in limited minutes. And then they talked about the 5 offensive rebounds Merriam gave us with foul trouble. We shot it well from the foul line. So all those things go hand in hand.
In the back.
Beat Mizzou pretty handily both the games earlier this year, and then you said earlier this week you knew Robin would make some adjustments. Just what did you see from them to build that 11-point lead?
Zone defense, making us get out of the zone. They made some really nice changes in how they were defending us. Evan Johnston is one of their GAs over there, and he knows every play call. I stood up to yell a couple, and Evan's down there yelling our plays out, so we had to trick a few names. But, yeah, they did. They made great adjustments, like she was talking about in here, how they set that pin down using Hanson, and that was new. It took us a minute. They got 12 or 14 points off that before we were able to adjust. But, you don't hold a team down like that. But when I looked down and they're, at 64 going into the fourth, I started doing math, like how many points are we going to have to score here to catch them? And ironically, it was 29. That was kind of the number I thought, and it finished out that way.
Coach, all year you've talked about Langerman and those Langerman plays. So how cool was it to see her be that one that really got that offensive spark?
That's not a Langerman. That's not what we characterize. The Langerman is the coming in on the offensive rebound and tipping around or getting one on the floor. But there was a time and point, and they caught it on the SEC Insider. They caught me saying it to her, and I saw that the other night. I said, Riley, you're our second leading three-point shooter percentage-wise. Don't turn another one down the rest of the year. So anybody that knows Riley knows she listens. You don't do what Riley has done in her life and not listen. So I was just glad to see it go in for her, So, but it's the other plays. It's those tip balls. It's the plays that don't show up on here. 1 for 2, 4 rebounds, 3 points, 2 steals, 2 turnovers, plus 15. There's no analytic that said that was – if you watched the game, you wouldn't say, I think that kid was plus 15. But she moves the ball. She defends. She guards multiple positions. She fixes a lot of stuff. And, it's when we recruited her, that's how we found her. We were going to watch another kid, and we just kept seeing this kid with the headband. Who's that kid with the headband? So we found the book. We're like, oh, that's – and we started talking to her, and the second you start talking to her, you know exactly what you've got with her, and she's been valuable for us in many games, but obviously today.
Gabrielle.
Erin got into foul trouble early. Can you talk about the effect that had? But then, that being said, also, she didn't score that much, but y'all were fine.
Yeah, and she's plus 18 in 15 minutes. That blows my mind. But that's probably she was in at the first of the game, and she was in at the end of the game. That's a little bit of the product of that. That was freshman Erin. Erin used to get in foul trouble as a freshman, so she reverted back to that just for a minute. But, I thought that we were able to hang around enough to be able to know that we could have her in the fourth quarter when we were going to need her most. But I think it's a testament, again, to, what the other players have done to help each other out. Like when Mac went down, when Sam went down. Sam played half the fourth quarter with one contact in, too, by the way, so I don't know how that works out. But they're just tough. They've got some toughness, and Erin exudes that. And Erin she was not thinking about herself. She was thinking about her teammates over there the entire time, even when she wasn't playing. And when Erin shows you that kind of has a permeating effect on the rest of our team. So that shows Erin's impact, even though she might not be filling the stat sheet.
We got time for a couple more. We'll go over here on the right.
That leads into my next question. You talk about just Makayla going down, and then Chrissy banged her wrist. Samara looked like she was cramping. And so just talk about this will that this team, knowing the significance of this game, to help them propel to this win.
It goes back to how they've been raised and brought up. I mean, we've tried to keep going everything their parents have started, but that goes back to how they've been brought up and how their youth coaches have coached them and how their grassroots programs have coached them, and we just tried to keep it going. But you need to recruit tough kids in the SEC. That is one thing I've learned about being in this league now 6 years. I'm willing to pass on some kids' skill and talent and rankings and all that if there's not a toughness box check, because you cannot survive a 16 game and then come to this tournament and not have some level of toughness. Whatever your definition of toughness is, you have to have a little bit of that to play in this league. So you got to recruit kids that have exhibited they've got that already before we get them, and then just make sure we keep rewarding those kids that are tough.
We'll take one more in the back.
And then just looking down the overall stat line, it's pretty even on almost everything, and all the way down to lead time. But the one that jumps out to me is total rebounds, 35 to 25. We talk about just the team, and it's winning the battle on the glass.
Yeah, that's not our thing normally. We normally don't want to turn it over, and we want to get to the foul line more than people do to offset being a poorer rebounding team. But when we add that element as well, especially the defensive, holding them to only 5 offensive so they didn't get second chances was really, really key. I thought we got some really, really tough ones. Sailors 9 were all tough. Every single one of those were tough. And Sam, when you get your guard down in there getting those 50-50 ones or those balls that are tipped around a little bit, she had 9 against them up at their place. So look at Sam's stat line. It's 5 assists, 5 rebounds, or 4 assists, 5 rebounds, 19 points, drew 7 fouls. Every single person that played contributed today, that's for sure. And the people that didn't contributed to the bench talk that we've been talking about. That was the difference.
BetOnline remains your number one source for all your sports betting this season. Everything from the NFL and bowl season to esports. You'll find the latest odds, team matchup info, player news, and game trends at BetOnline. BetOnline features live betting, free contests, and live scores for almost any sport or game imaginable. We're the fastest and easiest way to bet on all your favorite leagues and events. Head to betonline.ag to join and receive a 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Make sure to use the promo code BELIEVE to receive your rewards. That's BLEAV. Bet Online, where the game starts.